Don't tell anybody, guys, but I got 60,000 extra gallons of gasoline for us to use. Hear that? Good and solid. There's a black truck coming. I wasn't here. Got that? Where's that dino penguin? He's got gas. Hey! Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. We're taking a look at another one of the Velocitron Speedia 500 toys. And this time around we've got the Robots in Disguise Universe Scourge with us. And of course, like the vast majority of these toys, he is based on another toy that's come out. He shares the design of the Laser Optimus Prime that was put out here in the Legacy line. But this also carries back much further than that. The original version of this toy was released back in 2000 with the Robots in Disguise line and to promote its respected cartoon. The toy for release of Scourge in that line was also of a retooling of the original Generation 2 Laser Optimus Prime. But it did not include the electronics. So in a lot of ways it was an inferior version of that toy. Since I have read that the Laser Optimus Prime was a very popular, and to this day remains a rather popular toy among the fandom. As during my review of the modern version of Legacy Optimus Prime, I was criticized over saying how good of a toy this one was, even though it lacked the electronics. You have to remember, folks, sometimes I don't have or never experienced the original versions of some of these toys. Now, after Generation 1, I was in my teenage years. So, like every other teenage boy, my thoughts turned from toys to girls. So, priorities and things change. I give you an opinion on this channel based on what I can compare it to. If I didn't have the original, I can't really verify how good it was. I have to take what I read about it on the internet. But since we all know the internet is not always the best source of information, you definitely want to take that with a grain of salt. But here on this channel, I'm dedicated to giving you a decent opinion. Whether you take it or not, that's up to you. I just thank you all for coming here to my channel and giving me your time. Because I do appreciate that. It's nice to see that my work does help inspire and create other desires from many of you. But, in the meantime, let's get back to our review, shall we? Alright, some backstory on this character is that apparently he was a protoform figure that was kept inside Fortress Maximus when he crashed onto Earth in the early 2000s. The Decepticons somehow managed to get a hold of that protoform so that they could use it to create a Decepticon warrior based off of Autobot parts and such. Since they managed to also scan with it a version of Optimus Prime with it, they invariably created an evil version of Optimus Prime. But instead of it being called Nemesis Prime, this one was called Scourge. And he rose up quickly in the ranks with the Decepticon army, being placed in second in command, due to the fact that he did share a lot of Prime's intelligence and battlefield cunning. His biggest weakness is the fact that he also has a very small temper, which makes Scourge also very impatient and somewhat reckless. So in other words, Scourge can be goaded into battles that he is clearly outclassed in. But at any rate, let's take a look here at Scourge and some of his accessories. As you can see, we have the trailer already laid out here in its battle station mode. We'll show you how to transform it back into the regular trailer, and we'll compare it to Optimus's trailer at that point as well. But first we'll start with his weapons, starting with his sword. So it's in the same shape as the one that came with Laser Optimus, but it is in a magenta color instead of being in blue, like you saw with Optimus. Next up is also an axe. Again, it features it's the same design, but it's done in magenta colors instead of blue. And like the one on Optimus, it folds at a hinge, like so. If need be, these weapons can be stored in the trailer when the trailer's in battle station mode, as you would basically attach the sword via its two posts on the crossbars into this area here. You just got to get it lined up straight, and it goes straight down. And then the axe can be plugged into any one of these other holes on the other side once it's folded over. Now, wait a minute, it's got a clip on it, so it has to go into this clip down here at the bottom, like that. Next up, weapon-wise on Scourge, is this double-barreled gun. Now, this time it warrants being compared with the one on Optimus. Here's the one for Optimus. As you can see, the one for Optimus is in kind of a darker gray color, whereas Scourge is black in color. And of course, Scourge's gun can also be positioned here on the battle station. And then lastly, Scourge has a corrupted matrix in his hands. And again, it has the magenta color in the center, whereas the one for Optimus retained its orange and blue, like we can collectively know it to be. As you can see right here, underneath the chest panel is the cavity where the matrix is stored. You just pop that up and line it up to put it inside. As you can see through the area on his chest, you can see where the matrix is positioned. That'll let you know he has it in there. Now we'll take a look here at Scourge's articulation. And since he's basically a redo of Prime, he'll have the same articulation. The head can be turned from side to side. And it does rock up and down a bit. You also notice the back of his head is done in a trans magenta color, so it does allow the light to go through. As you can probably see here on the camera, he's given us the evil eyes look. His arms can raise up about so far. And they cannot rotate all the way around due to the truck kibble getting in the way. His arms can bend at the elbow, 90 degrees, and he does have a swivel at the bicep. The big thing you have to watch out for on both Scourge and Prime is that the rotating of the arms, they sometimes do come loose and will pop free. So it's something you will have to be careful with on both toys. You can twist Scourge at the hips. You can spread his legs into a full splits. He does have a thigh cut, so you can adjust his legs like so. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, and you can bend his leg at the knee 90 degrees. So all in all, you do get a fair amount of range of motion on Scourge. Okay, to transform the trailer, the first thing we gotta do is we gotta remove the sword and the axe. Unfortunately, it can't store them while transformed as the trailer. Alright, we take the turret nozzles down here and you're going to fold that up. Then we're going to turn and fold up everything for the turret so it's all straight. If you have the gun in the right position, as you can see, it'll just line up into its proper position. And while you're up here, you're going to take this end and we're going to turn it around so that it's facing like that. Fold up the front ramp. Then you can bring in the sides one at a time and connect them to the top of the trailer. Once those are in position, we just adjust the end cap since it's on a ball joint and get it folded down and secured. And then there you have it. There's Scourge's trailer. Of course, to connect it to the truck, you'd fold this piece inside. But unfortunately, since we're going to store the weapons on Scourge while he's in the truck mode, he can't have the trailer attached. So we'll just leave the trailer like that. Of course, for comparison's sake, there's the trailer for Optimus. Unfortunately, I still feel they were both gypped. They should have put a sticker or something along the tanker there. But I guess that's just my opinion. Okay, to get Scourge transformed into his truck mode, we're going to start by, we fold up these covers on his arms so that you can fold his fists inside like so. Bring it back down. Straighten it out and also give it a 180 turn at the bicep. As you'll notice, it's going to look a little off up here, but as long as it stays attached, it's okay. And of course, it does pop off relatively easily too, so do be careful. But if it does pop off, it's just a simple matter of just put it right back in. Alright, once we got that in, come back here to his backside for a moment and separate the top of the truck cab fold it out. While you got it out here, reach inside here and fold down this gray piece so it becomes the top liner of the cab. And while you can work with it as well, flip back Scourge's head so it's already in position. We're going to pull up the shoulders a little bit here, just for a moment, because we're going to take the arms, now that they're exposed more, and you can fold them up and try to work them in and around the trailer cab. Good, it also helps with pop the chest free. So that gives us a little less stiffness to work with. In you go. There we go, we got those. I got the arms in. Alright. Fold up the chest plate a little bit. We'll shift the shoulder pieces out of the way for a moment. But come in here so you can get these side panels popped free and fold out to the side like that. Get those out. And you'll come here to the chest piece. You should be able to fold just the grill piece. If it's pulling the matrix part out, you got a little too much there. Once that's free, just rotate that all in like that, and it should lock in position. Then once you've done that, we can fold the shoulders up and they'll form the nose of the truck. Get them in position, snap them together, and then you can come here and bring the truck cab's roof down. And if possible, lock it in position. There we go. Then next we'll come down here, rotate the legs at his hip so they go all the way back. Because you're going to take the hip piece, you're going to shove the hip so it's right up against the truck cab, and then you fold the legs only straight out the back. With the legs straight out, you can snap them together, fold down his feet, come down here underneath him and slide out the gas tanks. Hand cramp. Bring down these side panels so they'll help hold the truck together. And then fold the arms down. And there you have it. Scourge is in his truck mode. Which all in all looks rather good. And of course, as we said, we can store the weapons on him. The sword goes underneath the truck. Crossbar has posts on it where it'll line up here in the undercarriage, keeping the sword underneath. And then down here, just above the feet, are a couple of small slots, which will connect to the posts on the folded handle of the axe. The only downside is that, as you can see, right just above the axe, that's the hole for connecting the trailer. Unfortunately, the thing isn't built so that it can connect while you've got the weapons stored. So all in all, that kind of stinks. I mean, sure, you can probably mount it on the trailer somewhere, or no, you can't because it doesn't have a normal post. So, another rather poor design choice. But if nothing else, a lot of people probably like the paint job on this one. Whereas, well, the one on Optimus Prime. Maybe it may harken to the original toy, but to modern audiences, it probably also is harkening to Michael Bay's movies. So we get to my thoughts. What do I think of Scourge? I still like how this toy turned out. I'm not going to change my opinion just because somebody that grew up with the original Laser Optimus Prime from 1995 liked it better. I mean, if you like the original one better, fine, that's your call, and good for you. I appreciate somebody that can enjoy a classic toy. But unfortunately, since I never had it and I never played with it, I can't say the same things without lying to all of you. And I don't want to be accused of lying to all of you knowingly. Now, of course, also, I didn't have this version of Scourge since it came out in the year 2000. Back then, I really wasn't paying any attention to Transformers. I was still in college. So I had studies and other things on my mind at that time. This one, being a modern one, it is not a bad toy per se. It's rather sturdy and stable. It doesn't have electronics, which neither did its original. But as I stated earlier, if there was really a real problem to have with this, it's the way the axe is stored here. You know, the only way we can store it is we've got to put it here on the back end of the truck, but then that means we can't connect the trailer to it. So it kind of seems like somebody at Hasbro should have thought of that and either made a central hole in the axe for the trailer to be connected to it, or found a spot on the trailer that we could attach the axe to, so that way the axe doesn't get in the way. Or have given it a normal post when it's in its folded up mode so that we can store it on any of the other post holes and thus have it out of the way. But other than that, this one's not really all that bad. The only other gripe that I have with it is that it came out around the same time that this one is also on the shelves. So it just kind of is like, maybe you should have spread these guys out just a little bit more. But that's only one man's opinion. At any rate, that's my review of the Velocitron version of Scourge from Robots in Disguise. I hope you all enjoyed it. And remember, if you like the content that we feature on this channel, please do remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.